last video, we removed the old engine block from the rest of the tractor, and I'm going to point out some things that we removed. We removed this clutch. As soon as we got the engine block off, we removed this clutch. Then there's a gasket. We removed the crankshaft, which is right here. We had to remove the bearings that we tried to get off in one of the videos with the engine block attached to the tractor. As you saw in that video, that didn't work, so we got those out to remove the crankshaft. We got that out. We did clean this out a little bit. This, in case you have seen it but didn't know what this did, if you pull this open, just a minute, it takes a second. There is, this cap came off, there's the springs we're gonna have to pull. Inside there, it's probably better if I go. There's a greaser right there. If you can't see me, it's right there. That's a greaser, so you could stick your grease gun in here and grease it. So that's there. That's about all we did so far. I'm gonna put this back in here.
Alright, so when we pulled out the crankshaft, there are 3 bearings on the underside. The main bearing, the one that's farthest back in the tractor, is covered by the clutch plate. You took the clutch, when we took the clutch apart, you take all of the various aspects of the clutch out, you take the pressure plates out, and there are 4 bolts in there that are attached to the engine block. Once you remove those bolts, this all comes loose, and then there is, I believe it's aluminum, there's a cast aluminum piece. It's a 2-part piece that goes on the top and the bottom of that main bearing. That comes out, and then you can pull out your bearings. And if you are going to reuse your bearings, you're going to want to keep track of which way everything went in. So you don't want to take your bearing and flip it. You want to make sure that it goes back in exactly the same spot in the same direction. We're going to be replacing everything because we've got a new block. So we didn't really take that time to really keep track. But if you're going to reuse the same block, you're going to want to keep track of which way everything went together. So looking at the crankshaft, it seems to be in pretty good shape. The rear point where the main bearing sits, there's a little bit of a ridge. It's not too bad. The center one has a little bit of a ridge as well here. And then the front one's actually pretty smooth, so not too bad. And you can also look at where your pulleys attach. There's a little bit of a ridge on that one. We're going to put new bearings in. If you really wanted to get them machined out, you could, but this doesn't actually look too bad. Now the next thing we're going to have to do is order a new engine parts kit, and when we do that, we're going to get new bearings. You're going to want to measure the diameter of each of those very precisely. If you don't have calipers, you should grab calipers.
So we are going to measure the inside, the cylinder diameter with my dad's calipers.
So to measure, there's 2 measurements you're going to want to take. You're going to want to take the measurement of the outside, which is the top diameter of the sleeve, and then you're going to want to measure inside the block as well to see the base diameter. Both those measurements are specified if you go to order parts. And so this is a little tricky. There's probably a better way to do it. I haven't figured it out, or haven't tried real hard to figure it out. So based on this, we can measure these, and it looks like we are just a hair over 3.3 inches. So it's like 3.306, something like that. I think 3.3 is standard. We're probably going to be okay ordering 3.3. And then we'll have to check the top as well.
She's asking Dad if he needs the pliers for anything. You can pass it up.
We're okay, Clara. Thank you.
Come here. Come here.
You got it? Gabe, you got it?
Yep.
Careful with it. Hooked up.
Yeah, I help. No, I help. We got it through.
Yep.
Oh, they had a trick to go in it.
Do we have paper to write this down?
Taking a video. Alright, so we're just measuring the top four. These are coming out to like 3.61.
Yeah, well, these can stand here. And like,
3. Yeah, about 3.61 is our outside dimension of the cylinder here, and we'll have to order our engine parts kit accordingly.
We're going to measure
The crankshaft.
the crankshaft to order the parts. Right?
Yep. Yep.
Is that it?
So we're gonna take a look at this and see kind of what we get.
Clara standing is that's
So these look like they're pretty right on 3.125.
They probably would.
I'm sorry, 2.125. Which I think is pretty standard for your main bearing. For the pistons, we're at about, looks like about 1.75. Might be at
76.
Yeah, it looks like right at 1.75.
I thought it was 76.
Take a couple measurements on them. Yeah, pretty close to 1.75. They make them in, I think, thousandth increments smaller as well, or a couple thousandth increments smaller. So if yours are worn or they're undersized, you can get the appropriate size. But these are pretty much right on 1.75.
Okay, we are going to go in and buy parts from Steiner Tractor Parts in Michigan or yesterday's tractor in Washington.
Thanks for liking our videos and click subscribe. Bye.